Do you have an issue with anger? Maybe you don't like yourself when you get angry. Maybe you're someone who pretends to be really nice on the yoga mat or in spiritual drum circles or when you're hanging out with family, but then when you get in the car, you're a raging lunatic. You're yelling at people who cut you off or don't use their indicators or driving below the posted speed limit, and you pretend to be this Zen monk of not ever getting angry. Well, I'd also assert that you're also someone who's a bit of a people pleaser and doesn't know how to take control and radical action in their life. Because anger is a transformational force. And if you do not know how to be present to your own anger, then other people's anger is going to upset you. You're going to want to try and control them. You're going to try and make their anger inappropriate. So in a corporate setting or a professional setting, anger might not have a place unless you know how to wield it. And there's an authority and an assertiveness that can come from learning how to use your anger. And this is an embodiment practice where you learn how to go to the ends of your anger or rage and wrath in a clinical environment, which gives you a greater bandwidth to be with your entire emotional spectrum. So if you're someone who tries to control someone who's angry, or if you're someone who struggles with getting closure in a relationship, or if you're someone who doesn't know how to put down boundaries in a relationship, then I assert that you have no idea how to use your anger. And if you've done a lot of inner work on yourself and you feel like yoga and qigong and some of these practices that you use to help dissolve your anger are helping you, I'd assert that you suppress your anger in a way that makes your gut look big. So what happens when you start to suppress your anger, your belly starts to grow. You might eat food when you're angry. You might take caffeine and stimulants when you're angry. You might try and find ways to dissolve your anger when in that moment, what you really need is to harness your anger to have a conversation or create. Because if you don't know how to create from anger or converse from anger, then I'd say you're weak. You're a weak person who has very little influence in their life and their community and the world at large. You might be someone who thinks, oh, it's all too hard. I'm going to vote for this person because that person has my best interests at heart. I won't speak up about this because I don't believe in it. You hold your opinions and your beliefs to yourself because you're afraid to seem like an angry person, right? Anger is transitional. It can be used as a pivot to change your motivation, reorientate you into a new direction. So if you don't know how to pay attention to your anger, you're missing out on the messages of your body. What your body is attempting to tell you is incorrect in your environment, which can be in your relationships, it can be in your workplace, it can be in your family dynamic. Anger is important. If you do not know how to use it, you'll be used by someone who does.